Naam Sankirtan ki jai. Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. I welcome all the devotees to this beautiful temple of ISKCON Shishantripuram. My special gratitude to His Grace Raja Krishna Prabhu for inviting me and giving me this opportunity to speak on this verse of the Srimad Bhagavatam. Today we are going to speak from the Canto 7, chapter number 5, text number 37. We'll try to recite the verse. Paropiyapatyam hitakrityathausharam swadhirajopiyamaya sudovita chinyat tanangam yat utarnamitam Paropiyapatyam hitakrityathausharam swadhirajopiyamaya sudovita Chinyantangam yat utatmanohitam Shesham sukham jita yat vivarjitam Parohyapatyam hitakrit yathaushadam Sudhirjopi amayat sutohita Chinyatadangam yat utatmanohitam Shesham sukham jivati yat vivarjanam Beneficial. Yatha, just as. Aushadam, remedial herb. Swadehaja, born of one's own body. Api, although Amayavan, like a disease. Sutaha, a son. Adita, who is not a well-wisher. Chinyat, one should cut off. That Angam, part of the body. Yeah, which Uta, indeed, Atmanan, for the body. Ahitam, not beneficial. Shesham, the balance. Sukham, happily. Jivati, lives. Yad, of which we were Jana by cutting off. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace in Shiva Bhaktivedanta from me, Srila Prabhupada. Although a medicinal herb being born in the forest does not belong to the same category as a man, if beneficial, it is kept very carefully. Similarly, if someone outside one's family is favorable, he should be given protection like the sun. On the other hand, if limb of one's body is poisoned by disease, it must be amputated so that the rest of the body may live happily. Similarly, one's own son, if unfavorable, must be rejected, although born of one's own body. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has instructed all devotees of the Lord to be humbler than the grass and more tolerant than trees. Otherwise, there will always be disturbances to their execution of devotional service. Here is a vivid example of how a devotee is disturbed by a non devotee, even though the non devotee is an affectionate father. The material world is such that a non devotee father becomes an enemy of a devotee son. Having determined to kill even his son, Hiranyakashipu gave the example of amputating a part of one's body that has become septic and therefore injurious to the rest of the body. The same example, of course, may also be applied to non-devotees. Chanakya Pandit advises Tvaja Durjana Samsarvam Bhaja Sadhu Samangam. Devotees actually serious about advancing in spiritual life should give up the company of non-devotees and always keep company with devotees. To be too attached to material existence is ignorance because material existence is temporary and is real. Therefore, devotees who are determined to perform tapasya, penance, and austerities, to realize the self, and who are determined to become advanced in spiritual consciousness, must give up the company of atheistic non-devotees. Prahlad Maharaj maintained an attitude of non-cooperation with the philosophy of his father, Hiranyakashipu, yet he was tolerant and humble. Hiranyakashipu, however, being a non-devotee, was so polluted that he was even prepared to kill his own son. He justified this by putting forward the logic of amputation. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Vishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Ram Shri Guru Vaishnava Shri Rupam Tam Shri Advaitam Kavadutam Advaitam Krishna Chaitanya Deva Shri Radha Krishna Padma Vishnu Pranaya Vishnu Krishna Mutane Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nityayane Namaste Saraswati Gauravani Pracharine Hey Krishna Guru Sindhu Namato Jagatpate Desha Pita Tata Rangi Vrindavaneshwari Shahan Devi Pranamani Hari Priye Manchakalpatarubhyascha Sindhu Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Let's welcome the Ananta Raghava Prabhu Temple. So, I know probably for many. Yeah, last time we were 2018, we had come to Jagannath temple and we had a small ashram there. And Prabhu and his brother, they have said, Prabhu and his brother got Jagannath. And we Prabhu transferred to Mumbai University and we came into a service for a house program. And then I there and Prabhu then later joined Varam and his right hand of Varam Prabhu. Spending time with words, development happening, Prabhu is fully absorbed to fulfill the desires of with Maharaj. He bought family, nothing busy. Very, very fortunate that Prabhuji has come. He's going to other temples, but he kept us in his heart. And we are very fortunate to welcome him by the chanting. Hare Krishna. Prabhu had come night 12:30, but still he is there for giving us the association. Hare Krishna. Special gratitude to His Grace Raja Krishna Prabhu and all the wonderful devotees for coming and giving your blessings. Yesterday was the glorious festival of Narasimha Chaturdashi. I'm sure we had a wonderful festival here. Beautiful Lord Narasimha Dev is here at the altar. And definitely there'll be a lot of services late night, but still all of you took out your valuable time being here. Thank you so much. So today very auspicious day. Today there are a lot of acharyas, parents day, and so many other tithis. So today we are reading from the Srimad Bhagvatam, canto number 7, chapter number 5, text number 37. The chapter is entitled as Prahlad, the saintly son of Hiranyakashipu. So as many of us are aware of this amazing, extraordinary pastime of the Lord, especially the greatest devotee, Srila Prahlad Maharaj. And we all know how Hiranyakashipu did penances and then he got the bone. I always see the first LIC policy where he tried to plant all the covers not to die in the morning or in the night and day or night, in the sky or on the ground, and although he tried to mention all the probabilities, and then once he got the boon from Brahmaji, he thought that now he's invincible, he can do anything, can uh, terrorize the whole world. And then everything was going in his way. And then this beautiful child was born, Prahlad. This child was a great, great devotee. And a 5-year-old child is constantly absorbed in Krishna consciousness. The Srimad Bhagvatam, in the seventh canto, there are different verses glorifying Prahlad Maharaj's amazing character. नष्ट क्रीडा नको बालो जावतन मनस्कया कृष्ण ग्रह गृहीतात्मा न ved jagat idrisham. So this verse glorifies Prahlad Maharaj. He says from the very beginning of his childhood, Prahlad Maharaj was uninterested in any childish activities. Why? Because he was completely absorbed in Krishna. He had Krishna Graha Grihita. Many times today people say, I have Rahu, I have Shani Graha, I have this Graha. And because of that, there is an effect on me. I am not able to do this, I am getting losses in business, I am getting this and that. But herein, Prahlad Maharaj is saying that I have been activated by this Krishna Graha. That's why uh, I'm always Krishna conscious. And there is no other thought coming other than that. And that is the glory of Prahlad Maharaj, that he is not at all interested in any other thing. That is Prahlad Maharaj. Another verse says, Yatha Brahmyati Ayo Brahman Swayam Akarshaya Sannidho Tatha Me Vidyate Chetas Chakrapani Yudrinchaya. He's saying that just like iron is, attracted to magnet, or the magnet is attracted towards the iron. Similarly, I am attracted to the Lord very uncontrollably. Right? When there is iron and magnet, do you have to give a whole 6 session course why it is attractive? It's natural, right? Many of us, when we are thirsty, do we need to have 1 hour session that why you should drink water? When you are hungry and there is a festival and there's a feast, does we need an orientation that why should we have prasad? Right? It is natural. Similarly, it was natural for Prahlad Maharaj to be attracted to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And who is that Supreme Personality of Godhead? Chakrapani, the Dritchaya. That Lord who has chakra in his hand. And this is the glory of Prahlad Maharaj. So as we all know, that how Hiranyakashipu, because of so much power, pride, arrogance, he started terrorizing the entire universe. Everybody, all the demigods, all the great people were afraid of him. They were trembling. And in that situation, he thought that I have controlled everybody. I'm the Lord in the universe. Hmm? But then one small 5-year-old child, just one boy, one small child, he decided to disagree. Prabhupada here in the purport is telling that Prahlad Maharaj maintained an attitude of non-cooperation with the philosophy of his father. Non-cooperation. He respected his father. He respected him. He did everything, but he did accept the philosophy. Right? So I was just wondering that how in the world
Hiranyakashipu had everything. Everybody was bowing. A small 5-year-old child is not listening to him, or he's doing, Krishna consciousness, which is away to the principle of his father. And he took it so seriously. If you had just, ignored that 5-year-old child, maybe his life insurance policy would have worked, right? He could have stayed more longer and he could have enjoyed everything, whatever he desired. But as the Gita says, for a person who is honored, dishonor is worse than death. So here we see that, everything he had, but this 5-year-old child, right? And what a preacher, Prahlad Maharaj. Small 5-year-old boy, when he's going to this school, and when he meets his classmates, and then he starts preaching. He starts telling them that give up this ignorance. Who is the controller? Who is the supreme personality of God? Right? So many times I was just wondering when a small child, a 5-year-old child, how seriously he takes anybody, right? Anybody takes Nobody takes a child seriously, and child also doesn't take anybody seriously. Jai Shri Jagannath Baldev Subhadra ki jai. Right? In my childhood, there when in the television there was a small ad, a famous ad, and in that a small 5-year-old boy, he he goes from his home. He tells his mother that mother, I'm leaving the house. And mother thought, where will he go? He'll go outside in the veranda, come back. Who tells? The which child, he tells today I'll go home or I'll leave home. So then mother thought, she was cooking, she was busy. And then this small child, he leaves the house and he goes and sits on a railway station. And on a railway station, there's a bench and he's, sitting like this. Nobody loves me. My father is busy. My mother is busy in the kitchen. Nobody loves me. Nobody wants. And then he's sitting like that for some time. And suddenly, the grandfather, he comes looking after him. And he's sitting on the other bench. And this grandfather seeing the child. And now the child is trying to show, I will not come. So he's like, looking this side. And the grandfather is trying to see him, smile him, show all the faces. He's not listening. And then he tells, today, by the way, you're not coming. Today, your mother has made jalebi. Jalebi. And as soon as he hears that word jalebi, he's like, wow, let's go home. And then there was an ad of this famous company, Dhara. Their tagline was Dhara Dhara Shuddha Dhara. But I still remember, and many of you also might relate, the childhood, thing that many times a small child becomes upset and nobody takes seriously. But herein we see Prahlad Maharaj is so serious. Serious about his faith, his Krishna consciousness, serious about giving Krishna to others. Right? Giving Krishna. Srila Prabhupada, we see, was a preaching moment. And what all Srila Prabhupada went through preaching. And Srila Prabhupada was started the Krishna consciousness movement when Prabhupada was in America. He stayed in such difficult situations. He stayed in places where many of the people were crazy people. And Srila Prabhupada was in San Francisco. He was in a place called Bowery, which was like the drug capital of the world. And so many people who are drug addicts were staying there. And Srila Prabhupada somehow got a place there. And he used to meet all these people. And one fine day, One crazy girl, she was like drug overdose. She came in the dead of the night, knocked Prabhupada's door, and Prabhupada was busy translating his books. And Prabhupada opened the door. She saw Prabhupada. She started screaming, shouting. And Prabhupada was like, she didn't know what to do. And suddenly she came inside the apartment. And Prabhupada was, alone, afraid, was not knowing what to do. So Prabhupada came outside the house and she closed the door. And Prabhupada was, locked himself outside. And this girl, she locked the door and she was screaming inside. I don't know what she was doing. And Prabhupada in that situation in America, it is very cold. Srila Prabhupada was outside, not knowing what to do. Nowadays, if such situation happens, we have first thing we call somebody, hey, handphone, come here, Prabhu. There's some problem, emergency, no telephone, nobody nearby. 70-year-old man in some different country, no support. And somehow then I think Mukunda Prabhu, Mukunda Maharaj came. He then helped Prabhupada and he sent that girl. And Prabhupada immediately he continued the translation. The Bhagavad Gita says, Tatha man apaman. Prabhupada was completely unaffected. He just continued his service. So that is how, Srila Prabhupada is so much absorbed in preaching. And Prabhupada immediately always wanting to expand the preaching movement. Right? So, so we see here that was the glory of Prahlad Maharaj. And Prahlad Maharaj, that intense devotion, his absorption in Krishna convinced Krishna to come and appear. And yesterday was that celebrated day where, the Lord appeared from a pillar. And Satyam Vidhatum Nijabritya Bhashikam. Where the Lord appears just to say that because my devotee has said I will appear. Yeah. And yesterday was that event, that Tithi. Lord Narasimhadev appeared just to protect his devotees, especially Prahlad Maharaj. And then we all know how he killed Hiranyakashipu, delivered him. And out of all these great personalities, Brahma, Narada, and all these elevated demigods, everybody was afraid to see this extraordinary form of the Lord. They were just showering the flowers, but nobody was ready to come ahead. Even Brahma was the most fearful person because he was the one who approved the policy. So he was thinking that what will happen? Lord Brahma was afraid and he requests Mother Lakshmi that, my dear mother, please pacify your husband. And Mother Lakshmi says, sorry, I have not seen such a form of my beloved Swami. I will not go. And then Prahlad Maharaj is requested that it is only because of you. The Lord has appeared. Please go and pacify him. And then he goes. And as soon as Lord Narasimhadev sees Prahlad, he just starts embracing him, licking him. And then glorious prayers have been offered. And in the future chapters, we'll see the prayers of Prahlad Maharaj, how Prahlad Maharaj pacifies Lord Narasimhadev. And then Lord Narasimhadev, glorifies Prahlad Maharaj. He asks him that you ask any benediction. And he's just saying, please let me become the servant of the servant of the servant. So that is the glory of Prahlad. So today, we are also celebrating the disappearance of Madhavendra Puri or appearance of Madhavendra Puri. Srila Madhavendra Puri ki. So since this is the beautiful month of Chandan Yatra, And this whole month, almost 21 days, we are celebrating applying Chandan on the divine body of the deities. And this whole festival of Chandan Yatra was only made possible because of Srila Madhavendra Puri. Who is Madhavendra Puri? Madhavendra Puri is the Param Guru of Lord Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Guru was Ishwara Puri, and Ishwara Puri's spiritual master was Madhavendra Puri. It is said that the love and the emotion and the bhakti exhibited by Srila Madhavendra Puri was such high level that only Krishna, only Srimati Radharani, and only Lord Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu could understand. That was his way. Right? I think Chaitanya Charitamrita, the verse comes Krishna Bhakti Rasa Prema Bhaktir Latir Ankura Madhavendra Puri Tanra Nija. Madhavendra Puri is the sprout of the tree of love of God. And by his own association, he has made a devotee. So he is like the first sprout of the tree of love of God. Krishnera Paramartha Kripa Murti Adhikari Tandam Nija Sange Krishna Bhakti Adhikari. Sri Madhavendra Puri is the supreme authority of in devotional service. It is the very form of mercy. By association, one becomes eligible to render devotional service. So he is like the form of Kripa, the mercy. And the famous verse we all know in Madhavendra Puri was reciting, especially on his last days. He was feeling so much separation from Krishna. He was feeling so much separation that he was continuously shedding tears of separation. In this famous words, he chanted, Ai Dina Dayandra Nath He Mathura Nath Kadava Mukhe Hridayam Tvadanuk Kataram Daita Ramyati Kim Karomi. O most merciful Master, O Lord of Mathura, when shall I see you again? Unable to see you, my mind is agitated and my heart is become overwhelmed. Such is my condition. O beloved, what shall I do? So the separation what Srimati Radharani expresses. When Krishna, she's not able to see Krishna. That same mood of separation, right? Oh Mathurana, oh Krishna, where are you? When will I able to see you? Right? So since this is the month of Chandan Yatra, and I was thinking that let's try and understand the pastime of this Khirchor Gopinath Lila with an acronym. So many of us remember the name Madhavendra Puri. So let us have an acronym with Puri, Puri. Okay. So the first, you know, P stands for purity. So as all of us are aware of the past time that the Lord appeared to Madhavendra Puri in the form of Gopalji. Now we call him as Srinathji. And that the same Lord, uh, he was excavated in the village called Anur, Govardhan. And the Lord appeared and beautiful festival was done. There was a lot of abhishek done with Govinda Kund water and continuously offerings were made and very nice festival was made. And then he entrusted the responsibility of taking care of the deities of Gopal by their local Vrajavasis there. And then continuous festival after a few years, Gopalji appeared to him. He says, it's extremely hot here. Please go to this place, right, in Orissa and get cooling chandan for me. Just to serve the Lord, he goes all the way there. And while he comes to that place, he visits this beautiful sacred temple of Gopinath. And seeing that beautiful temple of Gopinath in Remuna is completely ecstatic. And while taking darshan, just now the Lord ships were offered bhoga. Before the bhoga, he takes the darshan, and when he sees that a special sweet rice has been offered, and seeing that beautiful sweet rice and the fragrance of that sweet rice, somehow she had developed a desire that this beautiful sweet rice has been offered to Gopinath here. If at all I get to taste it, not because he was, desiring to enjoy it, just so that if he can taste it, so that he can understand, like I'm one of the head chef at Govardhan Eco Village. So a cook, when he wants a new recipe, he desires, oh, let me taste it so that I can understand what are the ingredients, what are the masalas, what are the important things. So he just wanted to taste not for himself, so that he can make it for his deities, Gopalji. But then later on, he felt that, how can I do that? Just offering, and I think this is not good like that. So the first P stands for purity, right? So as we know that he goes out, and then the Lord, steals one pot of sweet rice for him. And then later on, he comes in the dream of this pujari, and then he gives, tell him that take this pot, I have specially kept for my devotee Madhavendra Puri, go and give him. And he gives his sweet rice. And then Madhavendra Puri is uncontrollable. Is saying that the Lord is so merciful. Yes, stole this sweet rice for me, right? And all of us know that pastime. So first P stands for purity, right? So that was his purity. Because of that, Krishna, revealed himself. Krishna performed this pastimes. Because he was relishing the nectar of Krishna, that's why he didn't feel that hunger. He was hungry, but his hunger for more for Krishna, right? And Srila Prabhupada often used to quote this. He used to say, purity is the force. His purity is desire. What was the purity? His desire was not for himself, but it was for Krishna. How can I serve Krishna better? How can I make this sweet rice for my deities of Gopal? Yeah, so that is the uh, aspect which we are discussing here. Purity, purity in thoughts, purity in words, purity in action. And we also have the example in the Ramayana of Shabari, the same thing. She wanted to feed the best berry for Lord Ram. And in that, she thought, let me taste it. And she used to taste it. Some say she personally tasted it, some say she personally, you know, tried it and examined different trees, which fruit will be more sweeter. So in this way, the attitude was how we can give the best. Right? So that was the best aspect of the quality of purity. The second acronym of Puri stands for U. U stands for Un is you. Madhavendra Puri was such a great devotee, as we discussed, was the sprout of that tree of love of God, was so dear to the Lord. The Lord came to his dreams of the pujari and stole the kheer for him. And even after having all that, he was so unusual. Just imagine today, a small incident, small miracle, something like that happens, people boast that, I am so great. The Lord came in my dream. I am a pure devotee, and this and that, right? But a real devotee never hide and never try to show. He's always unassuming. He's always there to glorify the Lord, not to get glorified. Right? So we see here when this happened, when the when the pujari stole the key, and he was ecstasy because the Lord came in his dream. And now he's like, Gopinath came in my dream. Who is this celebrated devotee? Who is Madhavendra Puri? Who is Madhavendra Puri? And he starts going in the market and saying, did you see Madhavendra Puri? Do you know Madhavendra Puri? And then finally, Madhavendra Puri was sitting somewhere and he comes to know he's completely unassuming. He tasted the kheer with such great devotion. The Chaitanya Charitamrita described that he treasured that so much that he didn't even leave the pot, kept each and every pieces of that pot. Right. So that is the unassuming aspect of his devotion. Right. So many times, it's so easy for us to take credit for something. In fact, sometimes even if we don't do this service, you know, we are happy to take the credit. Many times in the kitchen, the prasadam is made very nice. And some devotee says, Prabhuji, what a wonderful prasad is made. And you know that you did not make the prasad. But still you say, thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji. You know that, you're the best. Right? You don't say it, but within you are like, thank you. But when there is a feedback, the prasadam is not good, there's too much salt, it's too spicy. Oh, sorry, Prabhu, today I didn't make prasadam. This Prabhuji. I always give him the feedback, but he doesn't listen. You should give him the feedback. Right? So when there is glory, we are ready. Yes, I am the servant. I'm not the servant, but I'm acting as a servant. So we should think it is not me, it's my Guru's mercy. Second, right? When somebody is doing like that, we should see that I don't have this qualities, but devotees are saying that means one fine day I will develop that qualities. And third is we should always be grateful. Unassuming. Prabhuji, you've been serving Radha Madhav for so many years. Please tell some pastimes. Please tell what did Radha Madhav tell you? Is there something special? People want something very masala, esoteric. Prabhuji, did Radha Madhav come to their dream? Like they were talking like that. So, one time, two times, three times, they start asking something like that. And then Jalinastu said, yeah, yeah, there are many pastimes, but they were told not to tell anybody. So he was so humble, but then he just wanted to cut off the conversation. He said, yeah, there are pastime, but they have not told to tell anybody. That itself is a pastime. But of course, he was just trying to tell that Srila Prabhupada taught us just to serve. Srila Prabhupada, the Guru Parampara, has given us this chance, and we are just an instrument trying to serve. So we just have to do this service. The third is R. R stands for resource. Madhavendra Puri was such a devotee. He's so dear to the Lord. The Lord stole kheer for him. But then what he did? When he got his fame, so many devotees started coming to find out. He was like, in one night, he became viral. Now, in today's social media world, somebody makes a reel and in one night he becomes viral. He sings some song or he does something. And immediately everybody's talking about the whole, who's that person, right? Now, all these people, when they started approaching him, he did not take that glorification for himself. In fact, what he did is he used that fame in the service of Krishna. He said, thank you, but please help me finding the Chandan. Please help me to get this Chandan for my Gopal. So he was so resourceful, trying to engage in the service of Krishna. So fame can be used in Krishna service by telling others to arrange, anything for the service of the Lord. Right? So this is the glory of Srila Prabhupada always glorified George Harrison. Prabhupada, even on his deathbed, I think he gave a valuable thing. What was? What is the ring to George Harrison? because he knew the amount of impact was created by him. Right? Because he uses fame. That time Beatles were so powerful, so popular. And when they made the Hare Krishna record, so many people became devotees because of that. And the fourth is I stands for intent. His intention was only to please Krishna. His intention was only to glorify Krishna. His intention was just so that I can accomplish my task. I can get Chindan back. I can grind it. I can apply it on my Lord. And then because of that intention, the Lord was so pleased. The Lord again came to his dream and he said, please apply the same Chandan on the body of Gopinath. Because myself, Gopinath and Gopal are not different. And he offers the Chandan. And this is how we see the Chandan Yatra began. So Krishna came himself to show him that, I am not different than this deity form, and Gopinath and Gopalji are not different. So that is the glory of his desire to serve. The test of his determination is the Lord appeared to him, Lord guided to him, Lord, stole key for him. So that is the whole pastime of Chandan Yatra and the glory of Madhavendra Puri. And we are so fortunate on this appearance day. Today we are speaking of Srila Madhavendra Puri. And today we discuss the lessons from the pastime in a form of an acronym called Puri. P stands for purity, U stands for unassuming, R stands for resourceful, and I stands for pure intention, intent. Right? So that is being described here. So just a few minutes left before we end here. Today is also the appearance of Shri Radha. Shri Radha Lal ki. So one of the six Goswamis of Vrindavan. We have the Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, Gopal Bhatta Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami, Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, and Jiva Goswami. So as all of you know, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was traveling in South India and he comes to this beautiful place of Srirangam and seeing Lord Ranganath, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was dancing in ecstasy. And seeing that dance of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and seeing that ecstasy, you know, so many devotees were attracted to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And especially the head pujari of Ranganath, Venkata Bhatta. He was extraordinarily attracted to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And during that time was the Chaturmasya period and he invites him at his house. And Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stayed there for 4 months. And it was at that place Gopal was the son of Venkata Bhatta. He was serving person to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And when he was a young boy, seeing Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he developed that special attraction for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. One fine day, he was crying. He was feeling so much sad that, why? Why I am seeing Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in this sannyasi form? Why I was not born earlier so that I could have at least take the darshan of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in this Nimai lit form with his beautiful long hair. And then, just to reciprocate his desire, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu shows him the form of Nimai Pandit. And he instructs him that please, you're a very, very dear associate of mine. Please take care of your parents. They are very wonderful devotees. And don't get married. Take care of your parents. Once they depart, come to Vrindavan and assist program Sanatana. And as all of us know, he comes to Vrindavan, tries to serve under the guidance of Guru Goswami, Sanatana Goswami. And then he goes to Nepal. And when he goes to Nepal, when I was outside, I saw the board of Nepal Muktinath Yatra organized by temple here. So he goes to Nepal while he goes to take bath in the holy Gandaki river. And as all of us know, that this special river is known as the Ugam Sthan of Shaligram Shilas. Today's world is so unfortunate. Today everybody knows Instagram but not Shaligram. Right? Nowadays, if you ask any Gen Z or any person, you know Shaligram Shila, they say we have only Instagram. Then they show the reels posted by them. But Shaligram Shila is non-different, right? And this special month of Tulsi Jaldan, where the Shaligram Shila is given the Jal. So Shaligram Shila are like, the Ugam Sthan there, and he had a pot of water. He just took the Kamandalu to fill the water, but somehow 12 Shaligram Shilas entered. He thought maybe by mistake he again emptied it, again put the water, again Shilas came, again emptied it, again tried to fill it. So maybe he thought maybe the Lord wants me to serve. So he took a cloth, tied it, put it around his neck. He went, continued his travel, came back to Vrindavan, started worshipping him, worshipping the Shilas, massaging with scented oil, offering puja, ityadi. And then when he was in Vrindavan, as you know, in Vrindavan, so many uh, deities were there that time, especially Madan Mohan was already there, Govindji was there. So he felt that, so many businessmen from Delhi used to come and they used to offer, vastra, some flute, some mukut, and so many other paraphernalia. So he was thinking that, if only I had a beautiful deities of the Lord, I would also decorate them. I would also, do wonderful shingar, right? So then, yesterday on the day of Narsimha Chaturdashi, Gopal Bhatta Goswami expressed the desire and prayed to the Lord that, my dear Lord, you can appear from anywhere. You appear on this day from a pillar. If at all you desire, please appear to me in the form of deities. Let me serve you, let me decorate you. And then he put all the Shilas, put a cloth, put them to rest. He took rest. And next day morning, that is today, early in the morning when he got up, went to serve the Shilas. The Shilas were like this, the cloth was like this. And he took off the cloth, and then lo and behold, the beautiful deity of Radharmanji appeared. Shishi Radharman, 12 inches, beautiful deities. Swayambhu from that Shalika. So that same deities are still there in Vrindavan, and that is being worshipped beautifully. When Srila Prabhupada was in Vrindavan, when he started his ISKCON, Prabhupada used to always glorify the deity worship standards of Radha. And the Radharaman Pujaris were also very reciprocative to ISKCON. They were the first Goswami temples in Vrindavan. They were very, cordial with Prabhupada. And I think they were the first temple which allowed photography. You can take darshan, you can take pictures, and they have been all over. Everybody is so attracted to them, seeing the beauty of, uh, you know, mm, Radharamanji. So Radharaman has appeared on this day, and I think there was a devotee when Gopal Bhatta Goswami was traveling. He came to a place near Haridwar. There's a place called Saranpur. And there he met one family, and then they said that, uh, the son, he wanted to come with Gopal Bhatta Goswami and assist him. And that son later on, he became a brahmachari. His name was Gopinath Pujari, or Gopinath Goswami. And he had taken a vow to be a celibate. But then his brother, his name was Damodar Das, he got married. And then his descendants are the descendants who are worshipping the deity of Radha. And all of us know how Bhagavatam Goswami used to serve the deities. And when he trained the same mode of serving the deities of Radharamanji, Radharaman has so many pastimes. And One of the very famous pastimes I heard from Vishwarup Prabhu. When you have heard Vishwarup Prabhu, he's little Rasik. So he's saying that he was telling that Radha Raman is so amazing. He has so many pastimes. How many of you seen that viral picture of Radha Raman? He shows his teeth. You seen that? One picture it doesn't have teeth, another picture shows his teeth. So he was saying that how Radha Raman, he's not different. He's the Lord. So he was telling once, you know, in Vrindavan, like every day when they wake up the deities and then they took a bath, they give them a bath, and after the Lord is dressed, and then once the Lord is taken the bath, then they show him different vastras. They put different vastras. They put three sets or maybe more, and they show it to Radharamanji. One, two, three. So he was telling that if he likes the dress, he shows the teeth. So the pujari gets an indication. Okay, okay, Thakurji likes it. Then this is how they operate. This was a pastime I heard from Vishnu. I don't know. But in this way, Alaramanji is blessing and giving his darshan to so many people. So thank you all very much. And of course, there are other acharyas appearance and special thithis today, but it's already 9 o'clock. So I'll end here. I once again like to thank all the devotees for coming uh, and taking out their valuable time and come to bless me. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. So it's really late. If you have any questions, maybe you can ask me personally. Thank you so much. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagvatam ki Jai. Prabhupada. Nitai Gaur Premanande. Shri Shri Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Maya. And we should have thanks and Hare Krishna. Prasadam. I can breakfast. Yeah, yeah. And I was thinking to call you, but then I can't. Let's take it. But sorry, what? You have you have so